What's up, y'all? I'm Jay Ryan. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I want to talk to you guys about an article that I discovered on last week titled, Boy Crisis Threatens America's Future with Economic Health and Suicide Risk. I shared this article recently on my Facebook page on last week just because it really caught my attention. And I believe that, in sharing this article that it will catch your attention as well. There has definitely been a cry out for some time now for my generation of young men, needing help specifically from the older generation of men. A lot of young men in America lack fathers and father figures, especially in their homes. To be more clear, I want to dive more deeper to the article and just pull out some excerpts from the article that I believe could be providing a warning about our generation of young men being an economic and national security problem. This article was posted on USA Today on April 7, 2019. One of the points made in the article states that young males not looking for work, being addicted to drugs, and that is a crisis of education.
U.S. educational attainment has not moved up as rapidly as it has in other countries. Globalization is also a factor. For many advanced economies, manufacturing, to some extent, has moved into developing countries. So, for whatever reason, and the opioid crisis is related to, I think, to those other factors.
In an interview, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, stated in his interview that one of the issues is that we have people who are not taking part of the economic life of this country in a meaningful way, who do not have the skills and aptitudes to play a role or not doing so because they are addicted to drugs or in jail. And in a sense, they are being left behind.
I think to those other factors.
The opioid crisis.
The opioid crisis is millions of people. They tend to be young males. It's a very significant problem, and it's part of a larger picture.
I mean, you seem to be talking about part of this generation being lost.
That is the issue. When you have people who are not taking part in the economic life of the country in a meaningful way, who don't have the skills and aptitudes to play a role, or who are not doing so because they're addicted to drugs or in jail, then in a sense they are being left behind.
There has been desperate life circumstances, even now, that our generation has faced. As far as unemployment rates in our households, there are parents and also millennials in our generation who lack the skill and ability to get a job. There are people in our generation who feel they don't even need a job. And another problem is that there are non-traditional family structures in our households. Homes that lack two-parent households, homes that lack mothers, and I can make an estimate now that about 50% of homes in my area lack fathers and father figures in the home. And in the lives of our young men. I believe that prevents our generation of young men from developing skills and habits of gaining a strong education and being able to maintain and mature in the workforce environment. And of course, these circumstances have been linked to crime and drug abuse. I am convinced now, and have been for some time now, that this generation should be known as the watch and repeat generation. Meaning we are visual learners, but we tend to watch and repeat what we see. We watch people through social media, and even those we are surrounded by. Celebrities, NBA players, and NFL players, rappers, and even gang members. Everyone watches and pays attention to what is trending on social media and television. Who is doing what? How are they wearing it? How are they saying it? Everything this generation is doing is being repeated through the things and people we are watching. Our generation of young men are seeing that because of who they are around, and they pick up what those people portray. Not saying that what all of the people that I have listed, NBA players and NFL players and rappers and people on TV, not all of them are setting a bad example, but not all of them are setting a positive one either. These young men repeat actions because they, in my opinion, weren't trained or weren't taught otherwise. The Bible says in Proverbs 22:6 to train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is older, he shall not depart from it. If the child isn't getting any training, the child is considered lost. The child lacks knowledge of right and wrong. And as we see, the children are crying out for help, especially our young men in this generation. Fathers, we need you. Brothers, be that father figure to your younger brothers or younger siblings. If the father is absent in the home, step up and be the man of the house. Clean up, wash the dishes, wash the clothes. While mama going to work, do something productive and be that example to your younger siblings so when it is time for them to come up, they'll be able to watch and repeat. Parents and even millennials, we have to do something to try and save this generation and the next. But first, we have to have a willing mind. We have to have a willing mind. We have to put it in our minds that we want to help these young men. We want to help this next generation that is coming up and even the generation that is present. In order for us to make this change, we have to change our mind. There are men like myself. You know, I grew up in a single parent household. I was raised by a single mother. Yes, I had male figures in my life that poured into me, that taught me the ropes, specifically my uncles. And I had about one or two mentors growing up throughout high school and even now in college. And those mentors to this day still welcome me with open arms. They love me. They teach me the things that I need to know. They taught me how to stand up straight and tie a tie and be able to hold a door for a young lady. Study habits, having the skills to be able to get a job. And those are things that we need to know in this day and age to be able to survive in America. It starts with us. It starts with the young men being able to pay attention in school and watch their surroundings and ask for help and taking the initiative to reach out in the community and seek a mentor. Seek a male figure in your life or a father figure in your life to be able to pour into you. So that way, when it's your time to be able to pass it on, you'll be able to pass it on. And it also starts with the men in the community reaching out to those single parents, those single mothers who are raising these young men by themselves and be of help when need be. But the key point here is that we have to do it together. So, young men, I'm challenging you to hold each other accountable, to lift each other up when one is down, to seek help, specifically seeking help from men in the community, seeking help from men in the church, seeking help from men that you are connected to, that you may not even have had a conversation with. Seek that help, seek that guidance, and let's be a positive influence for this next generation. I'm Jay Ryan. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Remember, you can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys soon.